I suppose if we make a building which is indigenous, using indigenous materials, and when I say indigenous, I don't mean that we are ignoring the technology, the present technological development all over the world. I'm saying by using local materials, but keeping the latest technologies in mind, we can probably make buildings which would not only respond to the needs of the people, but it would sort of help the industries or to sort of develop in the country. Let's take example of materials like tiles and bathroom fittings and fixtures, which are being locally manufactured. But majority of the time, most of the clients would want to go for imported materials. And then we need to sort of tell them that the products available, which are locally manufactured, are probably as good as any imported material. So once that happens and our industry flourishes, then I'm sure it would sort of make an impact on the economy of the country. And once the economy of the country gets better, then I think the other areas, which are basically education, health sector, and I think in a way culture, and it would sort of help in developing those areas where we are right now lacking. And if we can make people educated, and then I'm sure there will be a transformation in the society, and the society society at large would probably then go further in this direction. When I built my house, I decided that I am not going to use any imported materials, and the products that I used in my house were all locally manufactured. Not a single product in my house is imported from elsewhere. May it be marble, may it be tiles, whether I use them in the kitchen, whether I use them in the bathrooms, whether I use them elsewhere. The tiles that I used outside also, but all locally manufactured, and they were, like I said, at that time, style tiles were, and they were probably one more, Sawat ceramics or something, but Stile came up with something that was quite comparable with the imported materials at that time. I'm sure now, that is, I'm talking of way back in 1980s or late 1970s or 1980s, and even at that time, that product was quite comparable with, in terms of quality and in terms of design and texture. So we jumped on that thing, and we said, okay, we are going to use local tiles, and it was accepted by our agreed by our client also, and we did that. So these things, of course, there are a number of houses where we use tiles as a dado rather than putting wood or anything else. We used good design of tiles as a dado work on the walls, on the floor, and I'm sure it can it enhances the quality of that space. A good architecture means that you have inside and outside complementing each other. The inside should become part of outside, and outside should become part of inside. And that means creating such spaces, like I said, small courtyard, and that's what we try and tell the client. And most of the time, I have realized that the clients agree with us, and we do design houses with around courtyards, sometimes around one large courtyard, sometimes around small courtyards, and different, so that you have no fear of opening the curtains and then sort of looking at and find that somebody is looking through your window. So we do that, and I think most of the architects now are definitely trying to sort of create houses where inside and outside are the part of the design that you develop. I would want them to stay, to do simple works to start with, and they should try and work hard. Because architecture is something that as you go on, you keep learning things, and it is important that one should be sort of passionate about architecture. It's a passion. It's not really something that you can sort of say, okay, I can casually do it. No, you got to sort of do the buildings in its totality, and that means that you have to have passion to do architecture. So have passion, work hard, and do start with simple things. And I'm sure in the end you would come up with a product which you would feel good about.